Be done with outsourcing self-love. Too many of us outsource self-love. And what do I mean when I say outsource self-love? I mean that we wait for other people to compliment us. We wait for other people to validate our decisions. We wait for other people to invest in our ideas. Be done with that. Be done with looking for other people to co-sign or validate your feelings. Too many times we wait for other people to get behind our thinking, or we wait for other people to tell us that it's okay to feel how we feel. And by doing that, we put all the power in their hands. I realized that for years, I struggled to set boundaries with other people because I didn't want to make them angry, because I didn't trust my own emotions, because for years I was told that I was overly sensitive, that I was exaggerating, that I was somehow misperceiving their behavior, when the truth is my intuition was spot on. But I realized that when you deal with manipulators, people that are emotionally abusive, they will oftentimes try to gaslight you and make you feel as though your perception is warped and distorted, when the truth is their perception is warped and distorted. But oftentimes these are our caretakers, our family members, people that we trust, and so we think that they have our best interests at heart, when the truth be told, a lot of dysfunction comes from inside our families. A lot of the abuse that we sustain has been at the hands of people who claimed to love us. And so we have to be very wary about taking their opinions as gospel. I no longer take anybody's opinion as gospel. I check in with myself. I try to make sure that I am honoring my needs, because that's an act of self-love. I think that too many times we put in the hands of others what should be our responsibility. We say, here, you love me. You do it. You love me. No, we need to love ourselves. Love ourselves enough to articulate our thinking. Love ourselves enough to actually show up big in spaces and not shrink or deny our voice for the sake of getting along with others. We love ourselves also by validating how we feel. Like I said before, a lot of people try to talk you out of your feelings. They try to make you feel as though what you feel is irrational. But you check in with yourself. You make sure that you just sit down, ask yourself, is what you're feeling legitimate? What are your feelings trying to tell you? Because oftentimes our feelings, while they may not always be facts, they are indicators that something might be off in a relationship, in a situation, or even with ourselves. So we just got to sit in and check in with ourselves. And that's an act of self-love, doing that self-analysis. Waiting on other people, I've learned to love you, you'll be waiting forever. A lot of people struggle to love themselves. How can they ever love you? So you have to realize that, for one, I'm no longer outsourcing self-love. That's my responsibility. That is an inside job. They say that happiness is an inside job, and they are so correct. And by they, I mean psychologists. Pop psychology tells us that happiness is an inside job, and that's true. You can't wait on other people to make you happy. Sure, people can contribute to your level of joy and life satisfaction, but they don't make you feel or do anything. You get to control how you feel. You get to control whether or not you want someone in your life. You get to control how you set your boundaries. And if other people, if they don't respect or like your boundaries, to hell with them. To hell with them. They have to go. You have to keep yourself safe, because in many cases, a lot of people are not qualified to respect and honor your boundaries. They don't have the capacity. They don't even respect their own boundaries. They don't even respect their own limitations. They're not consistent with their own limitations and with their own routines and schedules. How can they ever be consistent with loving you? And so the moment that I realized that, I'm free. I'm free now. I'm free to love on me and to invest in me. And every time that I love myself, I check in and ask myself, how does that make you feel? Don't you feel empowered? Don't you feel good? Not always playing a victim, saying, oh, you didn't love me, or you didn't show up to this for me. You didn't do this and you didn't do that. Forget what they do, because I'm the one doing it now. I'm the one showing up for me. I'm the one gifting myself with compliments and love and reassurance and validation. So I don't have to hate or be resentful towards other people anymore, because now I'm in the driver's seat. Now I'm the architect of my happiness, and I encourage everyone out there to be the architect of your happiness. Really invest in yourself and stop blaming other people or being a victim or continuing to play that role, you know? Start taking ownership of your happiness potential, because you have the potential to be happy, but a lot of times we stand in our own way, waiting on other people to do for us what we should be doing for ourselves. And so I hope this message lands safely on your heart and you begin to just make love an inside job. No more outsourcing love. No more outsourcing self-love. We're done with that. That was so 1990s. We're in a new era. It's time to begin to bring our love inward and be responsible for our self-love and how we show up. No more putting our responsibilities in other people's hands. Because what I've noticed is that oftentimes when you do that, you might not always like how people handle your life. When you put your life in another person's hands, you might not like how they handle your life. Just ask those guys and girls who are in prison. You know, they're locked in the belly of the beast. Many were not able to control their lives, so now they have to be controlled by someone else's life. And many of them do not like how they're being controlled. So, begin to love yourself, make your love and your life an inside job, and your happiness an inside job, and stop outsourcing self-love. Peace.